On this week's Technique Tuesday, we have Noah Hermosillo, a Division II national champion who breaks down one of the trickiest positions in the sport, short offense, when our opponent is controlling our elbow. Noah walks through multiple options, explaining what to do and when to hit each move. If you've ever felt stuck in short offense with your elbow tied up, this gives you a complete roadmap of how to navigate the position and score.
The way I like to think about wrestling is whether I'm shooting or he's shooting, I should be looking to score, right? And so one of the easiest ways to score in the sport of wrestling is what I call short offense, wrestling from a front headlock. And now that's whether off of his shot he shoots and I catch, and now I'm in the front headlock, or whether I'm here, I fake, and I pull this front headlock, okay? Doesn't matter how you get to it, it's about how you wrestle from that position. And the way I like to think of it is you always need to be looking to score. Now, a couple of these basic details that really make this short offense key is not getting this elbow sucked underneath. And so, turn this way, no, other way. So a lot of times, when I'm here in this short offense, guys, a lot of guys like to get their elbows deep. It feels safe to them because they can squeeze hard, right? But I'm actually opening up a ton of doors for the guy to wrestle out. He can drag. If he hangs onto this elbow, he goes to this elbow, and the other hand. And then this hand goes across to this hip. He can dump me, right? And the whole reason why he can wrestle from there is because I'm elbow deep. When I'm elbow deep, guys, I'm off balance, okay? All of my weight is now on this knee. Now, when I'm short elbow, what I call elbow above the shoulders, now I'm balanced. You see, I'm actually more balanced to this side, right? And I have better control. So, wrestling from short offense, I like to have hand on the chin, always cupping this chin, okay? And I keep my elbow high. The way you can think about this, like if you're struggling, like, you know, elbow down, is try to touch your elbow to your armpit, elbow to my armpit, right? And I'm here. Now my free hand is always cupping on this tricep, okay? So now from here, now I'm in a position where I can wrestle, okay? So before we continue with how to wrestle from a proper headlock position, I want to go over if you do get your elbow stuck, because that's very likely it's going to happen, you know, especially if you've already built the habit of going elbow deep. We need to have options to wrestle out, okay? So, first thing first, okay? The simplest way to wrestle with a trapped elbow is he traps my elbow, right? Same side, and I'm here. I'm still going to try and cut this chin. If I can't cut the chin, I'm still just going to try and get underneath like this neck. You can't really choke them. I know in high school they'll stop it. In college they won't. So the way I like to do this is I'm cupping this tricep, right? And I'm cupping on this chin as best as I can. I'm going to take a big step out, and I'm going to knee drop right to the side of him. And the way I like to think of it is I'm extending and snapping, extending and snapping. As I snap, I pull my elbow up. I roll it up, right? And what this is going to do is it's going to stop him from hanging on because he's going to hit his face in the mat, and my elbow is going to pop out. So I'm here, guys. I take a big hop step, and as I knee drop, right, I let my lats extend, and I snap him into the mat. Now I can free my elbow. And what you'll notice is when I snap, my elbow goes from down here. When his face hits the mat, it's going to be really hard for him to keep that elbow. And now I'm here in a position where I'm in proper short offense, okay? Now, some guys, they like to get crafty, and they like to hang on. They try to trap wrists, you know. Common defense is when this guy's in a short offense position, you know, in the front headlock, they say, control the wrist, control the wrist. And you notice what he's doing already. He's grabbing 2-on-1, okay? If he's grabbing 2-on-1, he's hanging onto this arm. So wherever this arm goes, he's going, okay? And so I'm not a huge fan of, you know, hang on. I'm not a huge fan of running and he circle with me, stay down, right? I'm circling, and then I shove up. I'm not a huge fan of that because at the higher levels in wrestling, guys just know it's coming. They're thinking steps ahead. So I'm not a huge fan of it, but there are times when it does work. And this is one of those times when he's hanging 2-on-1, guys, right? The way I like to think of it is instead of taking a bunch of circles and like really drawing this position out, all I like to do is tap this ankle. As soon as I tap this ankle, he's going to start to circle, right? I tap, he circles, and I shuck. And the harder he's hanging onto this wrist, the better the shuck's going to go, okay? And so if he ever has 2-on-1 on that chin hand, really shuck it by. So I'm going to show that one more time, okay? And so, again, the whole time we're in this short offense, I really think it's important that you are recognizing what he's giving you, okay? If he's just hanging onto the elbow and not on the wrist, probably don't want to shuck here. right? I mean, you might be able to, but it's going to be a little bit different, have a different variation, right? But if he's 2-on-1 on this wrist, he's going, he's hanging on, right? He's doing all the work for me, right? I don't even have to hang on to him because he's hanging on to me. So again, I'm on my toes, always. In a short offense, I'm never sitting on my knees. I'm always on my toes, pressuring shoulder into it. So as soon as I tap, he starts to circle, I shuck, okay? And I'm not nice with it. I'm not just passing it by, okay? Just like a bowling ball, right? You throw your hips in it. When you shuck, I use my hip. I use my hip to shuck. And it's like flicking water, right? As soon as I get here, I flick. I don't want to sit here and like do slow like muscle movement. I want to flick it, okay? That's how you get that pop, okay? So now, the other option is he's elbow deep, right? And he's hanging on here, just elbow deep, okay? Let's turn this way. He's hanging on elbow deep, and he's planted on this hand, okay? A lot of times, guys are going to just be hanging on to trying to stalemate. You can't, I don't like to keep this knee down, right? If I keep this knee down and he goes across, I'm done. So again, be aware of the threat, and you got to make some adjustments. So rather than being on this knee, I like to be on these toes. And if I am here, I like to keep my knee far enough away to where when he cross grabs, he doesn't really have that leverage. If my knee's in line with him, now I'm easier to pin. So I like my knee to be the same side as my elbow, not cross, right? I don't want to be cheating. So when he has his hand planted and he's on my elbow, he's holding on this elbow hard and he's trying to suck me down, right? What you can do is, see this? This hand is heavy. So you can snap at the wrist, get that weight off of his hands, and now I can shuck him by, right? And so just a little bit of a trick, right? This is one of my favorite shucks just because a lot of times guys, when they're heavy on that elbow, they're heavy on that hand too. They're not looking to score, they're just looking to stalemate. And so, again, I'm here. One thing that's going to work really well is I drive into him. He'll tell you there's a lot of pressure with my shoulder. And why that's important, because I can put all that pressure on this hand, right? Now, if there's no weight on this hand, sit back on your heels. No, go put the hand down, right? If there's no pressure on this hand, there's no give. There's no reason for me to lift this up, right? So when I'm pressuring into him, I'm pressuring actually down, like this way, as opposed to back into him. Pressuring down, so he has to use this hand to keep him up. If I pressure down and he moves the hand, watch what happens. Move the hand, he goes right down. So I need to keep weight on that hand for this shuck to go. So again, he's hanging onto this elbow. I'm pressuring down, like I'm hanging. My shoulder goes from the middle of his back right to the top of his neck, and that's going to give me that pressure. As soon as I'm ready, I like to sit here. As soon as I'm ready, I slide down, I lift, and I shuck. And now I'm ready, okay? So again, that's another variation of that shuck that I really like to do if he's just holding on with one hand as opposed to two. Now, the last thing I like to go from here, just to create some kind of movement, is what I call like a little dresser dump. Okay, typically a dresser dump is hit from the feet, right? From you're on the front head of the feet and you dive that shoulder through. Well, you can do it from here too. And some good guys are gonna fall to their hip and belly right back down. And that's totally fine, right? At the very least, it's creating movement. So again, he's sucking this elbow down from me, right? And the more he sucks, the easier it is. So I'm here and he's really pulling this elbow tight, right? I'm on my toes. As soon as I'm ready, this hand punches, and I don't try and tip him. I don't try and tip him, because if I try to tip him, he can sucker drag out. So what I have to do is run my feet like I'm a running back, all right? So I'm here, he's pulling this elbow down, I reach across, and I run with my shoulder. My shoulder is I'm like staying trap to trap with him the whole time, and I'm running through him, exploding. So again, one more time, here he's sucking down this elbow, right? I can see he's sitting back on his heels. That's a good tell that this is gonna go, right? If he's really extended, it's even more important that I drive into him, but it's gonna be a little bit harder. If he's extended like heavy on his hand, that's when I'd come here and try and shuck him, right? But if he's already sitting back for me, see this, he's on his toes, it's gonna lock him out when I run into him. And so when I block and I run, he can't keep up, he can't follow. So very important that when he's pulling my elbow down, I punch right across to the hip and I run it all the way through. Now, the other reaction that's gonna happen here is when I dump him, he's gonna go to his hip and belly down right away. And so in case that happens, as soon as I dump him and he goes to his belly, I need to come back up to like your base, So as soon as I dump him, he's starting to come back up to his base. This hand comes here and I drag to my goal. So again, with the short offense, it's just about thinking steps ahead and watching your opponent's reaction, because not every opponent's going to react the same. Some guys aren't going to see that dump coming. Some guys will, and they're going to react quickly to try and get back to a wrestleable position. Right? So again, here I go dump, he falls, now I start to behind. Okay? And make sure you're really chopping your feet, and you don't want to leave your legs. So like even there, I didn't do it the best. So I dump here, right? When I'm here, I run. If I keep this here, right, he could catch this ankle, and now I'm in another scramble position, right? And in today's scramble world, you don't want to be scrambling if you don't have to. So basically, when your elbow is trapped, you got to free it out. And if the guy's really, really grippy, there's a lot of guys that are really, really grippy. They're going to hang on for dear life. I'd rather try and score than just give up a stalemate and start fresh again. You know, because when they're sitting here hanging onto your elbow, they could eat up to a minute of time. And that's a lot of time in a wrestling match, you know? So, again, I showed it in order for a reason. I really like the bounce. It's probably the best way to clear that elbow. But if not, you can get slick with it. You have those shucks, and a lot of those shucks are dependent on where his weight is. If his weight's back, I go dump. If his weight's forward on his hand, I go shuck. If it's 2-on-1, then I'll tap the ankle like I'm chasing the ankle. When he reacts, I shuck. Right? So it's all about creating reactions that you want, forcing the positions that you want.
Thanks for watching this week's Technique Tuesday. If you want more technique, head to athletesocean.com or download the Athletes Ocean app. And if you're a coach, check out our new Team Space feature, where you can organize all your practice plans, competition notes, and technique videos all in one place. Let us know in the comments what you want to learn next. Make sure to like this video and share it with your friends. Also, make sure you follow and subscribe to FloWrestling for more technique every Tuesday. See you next time.